Hey guys, welcome back to this brand new video. This week it's race week. We're going to be competing at Nakuru for round 1 of the Kenya National Karting Championship. We don't really have we don't know how much pace we have since we've not been to Nakuru for a while, since our first race there. But the kart feels okay from the practice that we did last time. We still have to bleed our brakes. Today's Monday, so I'll show you a bit of the preparation that we're going to do before race week, as like the race. So let's get into it. So when we finished bleeding the brakes, this was all fine. The brakes were working a lot better than last practice. But also last practice we noticed that this was making, the chain protector was making a sound. So we opened that up and we found that the whole thing is cut. All the way on here, the tire has moved. So we had to remove the tire, and then we saw that the hub had slipped further in, so that was pushing against the chain protector, and that caused the chain protector to start wearing down. So we moved the hub back, and while we were tightening the hub, this happened. It kind of just snapped from over tightening. So you can see that these two are a lot longer, and that this piece should be here. So after that, we didn't think we were going to have a hub or if we were going to be able to race, but luckily we managed to get a hub. We borrowed it from Shane. You should go check him out. He's a very nice friend and person. So luckily the hub is now on and we can race this weekend. Apart from that, there's no other issues on the kart that we've seen so far, and we just need to try it out in Nakuru. So it's Friday, it's at night. We're just packing the last few things and getting ready. Leave tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning to go to Nakuru. So see you at the track. We've just arrived at the track. We've done one session of practice. The car feels okay, and the track is a bit different, so we still have to learn it through the next practice sessions. But yeah, things seem to be going okay. Alright guys, welcome to Rift Valley Motor and Sports Club, located in Nakuru. After quite a long drive to this track, we are finally on track. Anyway guys, if you're just as excited as I am for this weekend, then please hit the like and subscribe buttons. This weekend we're going to be running a slightly different layout than we did last time we were here, which was our first race in professional karts. This weekend we will be going anti-clockwise, which is the opposite way we went last time. Here's a picture on screen. The second practice session was good. We gained about a second compared to the first practice session. So in terms of pace, we look quite good. We're matching kind of what the other guys are doing. So hopefully we can do well in the heats, and now we just need to learn the track more. So, time for the third practice session. Doing some more laps and getting up to speed. Today is actually the first time being on this layout, since we didn't decide to come on Friday. So I basically had to learn the track during our practice sessions. And so as I come into this corner, my rear end steps out and we end up in the dust. Luckily, I was able to come out and continue the rest of the third practice. The third unofficial practice was okay. There was a lot of yellow flags and just traffic, so we didn't really get to know the pace. But it's okay. Now we just have to do driver's briefing and then official practice will start. After cleaning up the dust and finishing driver's briefing, we're out again, but this time for official practice. This is where your laps will be timed by the stewards. I tried to stay as close as I could to car number 24, but since he pitted and came back on track, I was all by myself, which meant that we could push, but sadly our pace wasn't as quick as unofficial practices. This could have been due to many things, such as us being by ourselves, me not pushing as much, or the tires being completely dead. We actually didn't know, but when we came back into the pits, our tires were super blistered, and that could have meant that we had a loss in pace during official practice. Official practice, the first session was okay. The pace was okay. We're a little bit behind where we were in unofficial practice, the second session. But it's okay. Hopefully we can get that pace back in the heats. And we just had to change tires. Like, we're changing tires because my front tires are blistered, like they're effectively dead. So we have to change tires and then we should be good. You can see over here it's blistered, over here as well, and they're just like spots that these tires aren't gonna work again, so we're gonna throw these away. So guys, it's time for heat 1. We start from second and we get a pretty decent start. We lose one position to car number 24. We're right on the back of him and try to overtake him through the hairpin, but it's not enough. We give him a slight tap on the rear, and through the straight we overtake him, but leave enough space through the next corner that he can overtake. He doesn't, and we make quite a big gap to him through the next straight and the chicane that follows. Now our main focus is to catch up to car number 7, and we're pushing. This could be a race win if we're able to shorten the gap he's made, and are able to close to the back of him. Sadly, it's not enough, and we have to settle for P2. He made a huge gap on us, which means we really need to improve our start so that we don't get caught up in traffic. Heat 1 was good, a bit disappointing because I felt like we had the pace for first, but I made a few mistakes at the first corner, so that put us out, and also the start really messed us up. Hopefully we can maybe improve on that during Heat 2 and Heat 3 and the finals, of course. But yeah, a bit disappointing because I felt like we had the pace to lead. Now it's time for Heat 2. This time we have the inside line starting first and can't get pushed out wide. We also have a bit of help from our teammate Arv, since he's starting third and he can push me, which gives us both a better chance of being quicker than P2. And you can just see off the line that the inside line gives you so much more of an advantage. As car number 10, starting P2, gets pushed wide and for one moment was in P4. He luckily made it back to P3. Meanwhile, me and Arv had made a decent gap to him and are looking to get a good 1-2. This just shows how important the inside line is for the first corner during a rolling start. So I have made a little bit of a gap to Arv through the straight, and sadly because of that, he is having to defend from carts 10 and 24. Meanwhile, we've got an amazing gap and look certain for the race win. So in the end, we managed to easily pick up P1, and luckily Arv defended well and was able to pick up 2, which is an amazing result for the team. Heat 2 was quite good, very good. We won the race and we had quite a margin. The pace was also good on the kart, so it looks strong for the final and Heat 3. So, for Heat 3, we're starting 5th, which is last position. Sadly, car number 10, who is in front of us, had a few engine issues and we got slowed down massively during the rolling start. Luckily, we managed to overtake him and catch up to the carts in front. We stayed at the back and tried to send it up the first hairpin, but car number 7 pushed us and we all lost time during the apex, which allowed car number 10 to be on the back of us, but also allowed car number 7 to pull away. My main goal after the start was to get a podium. As we were approaching Arv, he suddenly broke in the middle of the straight after turn 1, and since I was on the back of him and I had nowhere else to go, I smashed into the back end of him, which sent me spinning out onto the grass. This sadly made us drop places into last, and we weren't able to recover from that, so we finished last in the end. Heat 3 was super disappointing. It felt like we had the pace to be up there, but we didn't really. It was just unfortunate. We got a decent start. We gained one position off the line, but then into one of the corners, the hairpin, I made the move. I was ahead of him, but he pushed me, and I pushed someone else. And basically, because of that, he was able to get out. And my front nose got stuck in like his rear bumper, kind of. So we didn't get that good of a start, but we were still fighting up there. But then, sadly, as I was attacking to gain a position on Arv, my teammate, I kind of like went round the outside, but then he started braking. So then I had nowhere else to go because he was already braking and trying to defend me. So I kind of just went straight into him, and that made me spin out. So then we ended up in last. Yeah, really disappointing. It felt like we did have the pace, and the times show it, but sadly we couldn't. But trying to keep our heads strong and do well in the final. Now it's time for the finals of the first round of the Kenya National Karting Championship. Since we finished last in the last heat, we started off second. As we come out of the last corner, everyone had messed up their starting places, and car number 7 slowed down massively. I tried to stay behind, but as our starting third was almost alongside me, I just pushed and effectively started first. This upset me because the stewards hadn't recognized this as a full start and just let us keep going. So now with first place we just needed to defend to get our first race win. But I had different plans. I forgot how to defend. This led car number 7 overtaking me though through the second hairpin and me losing first. Anyways, we just tried to keep pushing and get first place. But sadly, Arv was overtaken by car number 24 and I was forced to defend. Also, car number 7 was like a rocket ship on the straight, and I really didn't know how that was possible because we were on such a small sprocket, which should have helped us on the straight. He was pulling like 2 to 3 seconds after us, which frustrated me even more. After car number 24 overtook me, I knew that there was no point in trying to catch car number 7, so I just tried to finish second. So I started defending like crazy after I overtook him. And as we come down the main straight for the final time, we managed to hold on to P2. That was quite a decent race, though. We've come back from the track. We're now at the hotel. Today was a decent day. We finished P2 in the final, and overall, it was just a good day. In terms of pace, we actually lost 3 seconds from unofficial practice to the finals in compared to the leader, but compared to everyone else, we were almost the same as everyone else. So the grid is quite close this year. But yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully we can get the win and not second place like we did in the final today. But yeah, we need to try find where we're losing that 3 seconds and try get the win. So we've arrived at the track. Sadly, we missed unofficial practice, but we're gonna have drivers briefing and then have official practice. So let's see how official practice goes, so we can see our pace and how good we are compared to the others and see if we're improved since yesterday. Alright people, it's Sunday. Time for Heat 1. In scrutineering, we found out that car number 7 was pulling 2 to 3 seconds because he had a bigger restrictor than all of us. We were running the 13.5mm hole while he had an 18mm hole. Sadly, in the rulebook there was no specific size, so we were allowed to run whatever restrictor size we wanted. So for Sunday, we decided to put on an 18mm restrictor. For Heat 1, we're starting 5th. So we're looking to make up a few positions. Off the line, we're able to make up one position, and we're at the back of the field, so at least we can make our way up. We're actually able to make our way up into 4th, and Arv has made his way all the way into 2nd. We need to try overtake car number 24 for 3rd, but we also need to defend so that we don't drop down to 5th. We ended up finishing 4th in Heat 1, which isn't very good considering we were fighting for a win yesterday. Coming out of a bad Heat 1, we want to try at least get a podium in Heat 2. We're starting third behind Orv, who is having a few engine issues. So off the line we get a pretty bad start, losing one position to kart number 7. Out of the first chicane, Orv runs wide into the grass and we narrowly overtake him. But through the second hairpin, kart number 10 overtakes Orv, and now we have to defend from him. Sadly, through the first hairpin, he has the inside line and pushes us wide, which allows him to overtake us. At the end, we are able to finish P3, which is better, but still not where we want to be. Time for the final heat of the weekend. Today we haven't been on pace with first and second. Hopefully in this heat we continue that. For this we're starting in first, so we'll try to defend and hold on to P1 as long as we can. We get a good start and are able to pull away through the first through corners. By the end of the first hairpin, kart number 7 is alongside us. We have the inside line though and are able to hold on to the position as kart number 24 now overtakes kart number 7. So on the straight I'm able to keep the inside line, but after turn 1 kart number 10 pushes us super wide and we lose the place to him, and because of that kart number 7 and 24 are able to catch onto the back of me. And after a poor exit on the first hairpin, we lose a place to kart number 7 and almost lose a place to kart number 24. Luckily, we were able to hold on to third and get a really disappointing finish after leading the race at one point. So overall we finished third. Alrighty people, last race this weekend. This weekend hasn't been what we wanted since I felt after practice that we were able to win on Saturday. On Sunday it's just been a super disappointing, especially after the pace we had yesterday. Luckily we were able to start third and on the inside, so maybe we'll get a good start. We managed to get alongside car number 10 right after the start finish straight and are able to stick our kart up the inside of him. This also means we jumped up the inside of car number 7, which started second and made our way into first. Wow, that's fantastic. Car number 7 pulls alongside us through the second hairpin, but we managed to stick in front. We are now defending for all our life since we know that we don't have the pace to keep them behind. Hopefully if we defend well, then they will get slowed down and will start fighting. As you can see, car number 7 pulls alongside me again through the second hairpin, but again we have the inside line and are able to hold him off. He's still on the back of me and pulls alongside me through the straight, but we are able to keep him behind. He sticks to the back of me on this straight, and he's just like a rocket ship. He pushes me into the inside for the first corner and is able to make the move stick on the outside through the next corner. Car number 10 pulls alongside me, but we cover him off. At this point, we're just trying to defend our place since we know that car number 10 is right on the back of me, and he's tailing me and waiting for opportunity when I make a mistake. We're able to hold him off and manage to secure second. This is a really good position, especially if you compare it to the heats. I was a little bit disappointed that we couldn't get the win, but at least we managed to get second based on our pace during the day. Yeah, I think that there was a lot to learn from this weekend. It was a good weekend, but not necessarily to learn from the kart only. Of course, restrictive, we didn't even know, but just a lot in the driving I feel that we need to improve on. So hopefully in the practice sessions we'll be able to do that, and for the next race in June we'll come back stronger and quicker. But anyway guys, that's it for this video.